Member, the chair recognizes the member for Peace River North.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. As we've heard over and over again, COVID has brought unprecedented challenges to all of British Columbia's communities, but it has hit some of BC's most vulnerable members the hardest. COVID has isolated many from the support networks that they rely on, has kept many from working, and has driven up the cost of living considerably for all of us. Rather than offer additional supports to help those who need it the most, government has stripped away vital assistance and created significant barriers that have prevented many from receiving the help that they need. The most vulnerable British Columbians saw their COVID-19 emergency supplement cut in half. They were told to apply for the $500 BC recovery benefit, but even those on income assistance and disability assistance have had issues accessing the grant that was promised to them before Christmas. More than 2 months since their checks were promised, hundreds of thousands of British Columbians are still waiting for their one-time recovery benefit. One thing that we've heard over and over again is nothing is easy to access, from waiting for hours on hold to not hearing back from emails, to the copious amounts of follow-up paperwork and documents, almost purposeful barriers put in place to block the flow of help. There were 215,000 people on income and disability assistance and the senior supplement in this province. Now we find out that 107,000 of these British Columbians are going to be automatically receiving the benefit. This means that half of the people who had their income and disability assistance clawed back could not access the BC recovery benefit. Thousands of persons with disabilities have gone more than 2 months since their COVID income and disability assistance was cut in half by this government and are still anxiously waiting for their one-time payments to pay for food, rent, and other necessities. COVID's been extremely impactful on persons living with disabilities. Many have been isolated from support networks that they rely on. Many are often immune compromised and are incurring additional costs, from grocery deliveries to additional care needed because of COVID. Many have either lost their job or have been unable to work due to risks to their own well-being. Because of the incredible strain COVID has put on our healthcare system, many persons with disabilities have seen delays in care and treatment that they rely on. And every necessary trip for medical care now brings with it incredible risks. Government has faced strong criticism for introducing a lengthy application process that created considerable barriers for British Columbians wishing to apply for the benefit, despite already having much of this information requested already on file. It's incredibly troubling that government not only waited more than 2 months to automate the BC recovery benefit for persons with disabilities, especially now that they have admitted that they've had the capacity to do so all along. Additionally, Community Live in BC has paid out over $1 billion last year to service providers. CLBC is among the many service providers whose budget will run out in March, and yet government has chosen to delay the next fiscal budget until April. What will budget delays mean for these groups? Will people in need of assistance see further cuts or delays to the supports that they so dearly need? How are BC's most vulnerable supposed to meet the growing cost of living under these conditions? Average rent continues to skyrocket. Average house prices in our province increased by 16% just last year. Government has struggled to get anything built, and at their current pace, it will take more than 100 years to meet their promised housing target. It's time for the government to reinstate the income and disability assistance that they clawed back and reevaluate how they plan to deliver the necessary supports to the British Columbians that need them most. Mr. Speaker, people are looking for help. People need help. Businesses need our support. Industry needs an ally. And people are looking to government for this. But when all they get is failure after failure and backs turned on them, this hurts everyone. Government needs to be providing meaningful support that is easily accessed, not rattled with barriers. People and businesses alike need supports, and they need to have ready access to them, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.